Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. It's your girl Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys, and I have a special treat for you guys today. So if you've been curious as to how to build generational wealth through real estate, then tonight is your show, guys. So tonight, how to create generational wealth through real estate. And we have Brandi and Tiffany coming here tonight to talk about how they've been able to create generational wealth through real estate and how they've helped their clients and everyone else create generational wealth through real estate. So I'm so excited. So I advise each and every one of you guys to grab your pen, grab your paper so you can take some notes. But then also, guys, share the video so you can invite somebody on to the show and, connect them with me so they can learn as you guys are growing and flourishing as well. Because I know from all of the content that I give you guys and all of our guests, you're financially literate, okay? So you know some stuff. So why not share me with your friends, your biz bestie, and colleagues? So before we take a quick break, share the video. And if you're not following us at bit.ly/TMZ get notified, TMZ get notified, you guys want to join our mailing list because we're going to start to send out information about our guests, our sponsors, what we have going on, tax tips, business tips, and everything else. So if I were you guys, I would not want to miss this opportunity to join our mailing list. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break to give you time to share your video, get your notepad and your pen, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, so we are back. So if you guys are just tuning in, tonight's show is all about how to create generational wealth via real estate. And we have two, not one, not, I was going to say not two, just two, not just one special guest. Okay, so we have Tiffany and Brandi Hawkins. They are realtors and the co-owner of Harris Hawkins & Co., which is a boutique brokerage firm located here in Maryland, guys, specifically in Baltimore, Maryland. Tiffany has an impressive property management background extensive knowledge of local market conditions, area development, and she has a commitment to assisting clients in a multitude of real estate goals. Brandi Hawkins is an experienced and highly sought after Maryland licensed realtor. As a Baltimore County native, she is particularly versed and in tune with the unique characteristics that Maryland neighborhoods offer. Tiffany serves as the co-chair of Maryland Realtors Housing Affordability and Equal Opportunity Committee, president-elect of Greater Baltimore's Women Council of Realtors, and chair of Greater Baltimore Board of Realtors Housing Affordability Committee. Go ahead, girl. In hopes of sharing her knowledge with colleagues, building industry relationships, and making a difference in the affordable housing arena. Brandi lives in Baltimore County with her husband and her young son, where she has made a home. She began her real estate career early on as a property manager. Her continued passion for business and cultivating personal relationships have propelled her to excel as a self-made entrepreneur. Brandi has a perspective and intuitive ear for what her clients truly want and is plugged into the Maryland real estate market and its continued redevelopment and growth. And she's amazing at tracking new projects and trends. So guys, help me welcome Brandi and Tiffany to the Money Zone.
Hello.
Hey, ladies. How are you?
We're great. How are you?
Look, y'all all cute at everything. Like twins. Are y'all sisters or anything? Y'all just came in with it and everything.
You know, we woke up like this.
Yes. Look, guys, so I'm just so excited because we don't just have one realtor in the building, guys. We have two realtors in the building. So before we just jump right at it, what inspired you two to get into the real estate industry?
So I initially got into real estate for my own personal investments. And I had a friend from high school that was taking a job overseas, and she was also licensed. So she ended up referring me some of her clients that she had that were also high school classmates of ours. And I fell in love, and here I am.
Yeah, so I was actually a stay-at-home mom. I had a newborn, and I just got tired of talking to a baby. So I didn't want to go back to my job. I worked in customer service at the time. I worked from home, but I just couldn't get myself together to send the baby to daycare at 6 weeks and So I just decided that, I would explore real estate. And so I did get my real estate license, and I just made a decision to hit the ground running, and here I am.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So thank you so much. So ladies, we hear this bad perception about partnerships and coming together and starting a business with someone else. You don't want them to sue you, girl. Take you for everything, and you may have to start all over. So how did the inspiration come for you guys to bridge both of your firms together and start one brokerage?
So the way real estate works is, when you come in, most people come in, we're all 1099 contractors. So you come in, you're usually an independent agent. We happen to meet at another brokerage we were at. And Tiffany had surgery one day, and I just started calling her every single day, and I checked on her every single day. We had never really had a conversation prior to that. So she thought I was like a stalker. But I just checked on her every day, and that's kind of how this relationship started. So we ended up leaving that brokerage, and we headed to we had lunch one day, and we decided that we had both realized that we were in the same place in our careers, and we were just ready for more. We didn't really know what more looked like, but we knew it wasn't where we were, at that time. So we started looking for other brokerages to affiliate with. And we ended up joining the same brokerage, and we were there, and we were kind of like, I like you. You like me? Yeah, I like the way you work. You could add this and you could add that. So we decided to create the Harris Hawkins Home Team. So moving on from there, we decided to start bringing on agents. So we brought on some agents, and we just continued we're just always people who want more. We're always going to be the people who want more. Like, we're never satisfied. Like, I don't even know why we do this to ourselves, but we decided that we wanted to be, Tiffany's the broker. So okay. want to be the broker. But we decided that we wanted to be the broker and the real estate agent and owner that we didn't have. We wanted to be that for the people who needed it.
Yeah.
But we just decided to essentially share our gift with people who wanted to, get into real estate and be successful in it.
Wow. Wow. And you know what, ladies, I actually commend you, Brandi. That's that mother thing, checking up on Tiffany and stuff. Because, us women, you hear so much the lack of camaraderie, the lack of teamwork, and you just hear more slander behind female and female relationships. So I commend you, Brandi, for even reaching out to Tiffany, because y'all wouldn't have had to harass and coat and have all of this going on right now. And
you ignore my call. Like, I don't know.
Look, even if she thought she was a stalker for a minute, right?
I will stalk her.
I told my husband,
look like best friends now, so it looks like it all worked perfectly out. So, you know what, guys? So remember, if you've heard from many of your entrepreneurs, your very successful entrepreneurs, they always say to step out of your comfort zone. I'm not sure if that was Brandi's comfort zone to reach out to other women and say, hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? But she stretched herself by doing that. And how many times have you guys seen an opportunity to reach out to somebody and connect with them? And look at these ladies. They're very successful. They have an amazing brokerage here in Baltimore, Maryland. And so look for the opportunity. So how many times have you guys missed out on that connection because you were afraid to reach out to another person? So take a cue out of Brandi's book, check up on that girl, check up on that person that may be your future partner, colleague, something. Okay. So look, we don't want to miss out on the opportunity. Okay. So now we got the brokerage firm going. We're rolling. We started the business. What was one of the first business hiccups did you experience with your brokerage license, Tiffany, and you, Brandi? What was the first hiccup that you guys experienced coming together?
So we don't have hiccups because this is Legal Lucy over here. We don't have hiccups like when it comes to licensing and permits and all of that.
So I am very much strategic in everything that I do. Everything is a plan. It has to be planned out. And Brandi is the complete opposite.
She has to plan to use a bathroom. So I'm like, let's fly. I'm a free bird. Let's just go where the wind takes us. It's amazing.
So everything was thought out probably months in advance. So down to how we were going to do this, how we were going to plan this. And the minute that we got our keys, it was like everything just fell into place. Because we had already been running our real estate team, like a brokerage. When we started the team, we put agreements in place that would be seen at a brokerage. We did trainings. We started doing research on what different systems we wanted to use. We used different systems from our previous brokerage. So I think that really helped us in transitioning because we didn't have to recreate the wheel or try to figure everything out now that we had our own. So I think that was probably would help not to have any hiccups or, none really.
Yeah, we're as much of a free spirit as I am. I take business very seriously. We always say her family depends on me and my family depends on her. So, we're just very careful we're very money conscious. We follow real estate commission guidelines, all of them, every time. So we don't leave room for error when it comes to things that you just can't mess up.
We file taxes as much as we hate it.
And we pay them. We pay them too.
And we pay them.
Oh, wow. So look, guys, so she said, and this was before the ladies went out and started their own brokerage firm. They had a team, they were doing training, and they had systems. And the reason why I'm saying this is because many of you guys, as an independent contractor, you probably assume you're not a real business. But look at Brandi and Tiffany. If they didn't already have those systems in place, they wouldn't have had a smooth transition to the next level, which is growth, which is the brokerage firm. So how many of you right now that operate your business, you're not building a team, you don't have systems, you don't have processes, and you just don't have your stuff in order? And the girl said they filing their taxes, y'all. They're doing right. So what about you? Are you doing things right? Okay, so how have your upbringing, and both of you can answer this question, how have your upbringing allowed you guys to be in this position right now with your brokerage firm?
So I don't have like a struggle story. You know what I mean? How people are, like I came from nothing. That wasn't my case. My parents, I was raised with both. My parents are still married. I was raised in the house with both of them. We're all very close. And, I remember watching my dad work. My dad worked like overworked, like worked himself till he was almost sick. He worked 2 jobs. I remember him delivering newspapers as like a part-time job. He's a carpenter. So he worked at an apartment complex for 21 years, and we lived there for free. And all the while we lived there for free, my parents were saving money to purchase their home. So I remember seeing my dad just, really, really push. But my dad was always very, very, to this day, very involved, even with my son now. He's like, I don't know if he thinks that's his son. I don't know. But very, very involved, hands-on dad. So, in the summer, we would always look forward to going out with my dad to throw newspapers. So he would lay the seats down, put sleeping bags in the trunk. He was never not there. So we were really close to my dad, and watching his work ethic has really taught me that now I don't have to work myself to death, but I do have to work hard for what I want. But in retrospect, what it also taught me is that I want to have residual. I want to have residual income. I want to not have to work so hard, eventually, and just have, the income working for me. So yeah, I had a pretty, little Cosby Show childhood.
So mine is a little different. So while both of my parents are still married, there was, I would say probably was about 9 or 10 when my parents, were introduced to drugs, and there was, a ton of substance abuse. And I have been living on my own since I was 16. So a lot of my work ethic came out of survival. It was, needing to, and, just really having to, because I had to take care of myself. So my, kind of how that contributes now. I have a 17-year-old, and it's for me to not have to have him, like Brandi says, start over or have to experience any of those things. So that's exploring different options for college or what he's going to do after graduation. That's not the mentality of you're 18, you're grown, you have to get out. Ensuring that he doesn't have the same struggles. I had to pay for college because my parents weren't in a place or in the right state of mind to allow me to declare myself independent. So I couldn't get financial aid. So not having to have those same struggles that I had, not to even touch on half of the things that I did. I in most of my adult life have taken care of a lot of people in my family and, contributed to a lot. So I don't want him to experience those same things. So this for me is creating for him what I didn't have, to leave something to him, because I'm the first person in my immediate family, even being the youngest of myself and my sister, that purchased a home. So to not have that be the norm, to, for me, it is, my goal when he turns 18 to gift him a multifamily, just doing things differently, because I'm big on, not necessarily being a product of your environment, but also not allowing where you came from to dictate where you're going. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't have to, those are things that happen, but that's not my story. That's not who I am. That is what happened in what was my experience growing up, but that doesn't dictate what I can do, as an adult.
Love it. I love it. And it's amazing that both of you ladies' stories are totally different and y'all still connected and just became one in terms of the business. So this is amazing. So this goes right into my next question. So what are the both of you actually doing right now to, one, build generational wealth in real estate on a personal level? And then my next question would be, how do you assist your clients in building generational wealth for their families through real estate?
So I currently am actually working on my very first flip project. Prior to that, I was, because I was in property management prior to getting into real estate full time, rental properties, building a rental portfolio had always, kind of been me and my husband's thing, just because we both come from that property management background. But recently decided to, had the opportunity to do a flip project. So, we're doing that. Overall, I think for Brandi and I both, outside of individually, we are actually working on opening our second brokerage location, which will be opening somewhere between mid-May to early June or late May. So really creating a platform for agents, again, that are able to reach their goals in real estate. And I think for, our clients, it's just individually, whatever your goals are. I think the biggest thing is providing the knowledge to the clients to be able to show them the different avenues in real estate. Not everybody wants to be a homeowner, but maybe you want to be a landlord. Not everybody wants to have a rental portfolio, but as an investor, maybe you want to do flip properties. There's a thing called house hacking. You purchase a multifamily, live in one, and then rent out the other. So there's so many different ways, and I'll let Brandi speak for herself, but I know, one thing that her and her husband have done in the past couple of years, purchase homes, lived in them while they renovated and then sold. So that's a different method of flip, not, having to live somewhere else while you're doing a flip project. So really educating our clients on the different avenues and providing them with the resources and guidance to meet those real estate goals.
Yeah, just to kind of add to that, I mean, you said everything. Thank you so much. But yeah, so my husband and I, since we've been married, we've probably lived in 4 or 5 homes. They were all fixer-uppers, not to the point where we're busting down walls and all of that. That's not really my thing if I'm going to live in the property. Did we lose her? Oh, there you are. Okay. But we did live in the properties. We would always take the ugliest house on the block and we would flip that thing and we would leave in 1 year and a day to avoid capital gains tax and take the profit and move on. That's what works for us. Now, my son is 5 and he's starting real life big boy school now, so we can't do that anymore. I don't want him to feel like he's in the military. But that is what worked for us, and that allowed us to build a good amount of net worth to be able to do more of what we want to do. But yeah, and then the second location, that is so major because one, it's us, so it feels like a big deal. But 2,
it is.
There are not many Black-owned real estate brokerages that choose to,
don't forget women,
right? That choose to scale their business and open, and continuing to open locations. So that's not going to be our only location. And I remember sitting in the parking lot at church one day, and talking to her, and we were talking about the brokerage. It was a decision we made, and then did we talk about this before the pandemic? No, we decided. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it was before the pandemic, and then right when the pandemic hit, we were in the thick of it. We had signed a lease, and the rent was very high, but it was like, are we going to focus on what this looks like it could be, or are we going to focus on what it could be? So it was never a no. It was always a yes, but it was just like, we had to ramp each other up. It's a constant, and that's the blessing in having a partner. Sometimes it's a constant, like, all right, we got to snap out of this. Let's get it together. Mm-hmm. So I remember sitting in the parking lot at church, texting her or talking to her on the phone. And I'm texting her like, Long and Foster had an idea. Keller Williams had an idea. So-and-so had an idea. Coldwell Banker, Harris Hawkins has an idea. Why can't we be just as big or bigger? So we're looking at it, from a perspective of long-term. We see really, really far out. We go to the end of the situation and then we work our way back. So, there were times where we didn't get our hair done. We did our own nails. We were cooking every day. And it's not that we couldn't, it was that we were focused on that one goal, and we were very focused on that and that only. So it looks different for everyone. House hacking has worked for me. I guess that's what you call it. I don't know. And she always shorts herself. She owns rental. Like she's like very jazzy. So it depends on what works for you.
Look, guys. So look, Tiffany and Brandi did already said a mouthful. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. You should have been taking some notes, because they just gave y'all quite a few real estate strategies that you should be taking from the show and going to Google or messaging them, letting them know, hey, I'm trying to do something. You said something on the Money Zone about house hacking and flipping and multifamily, all of that stuff, because this is the time where many of you are really looking to build generational wealth too. So I advise you, especially if you're in the DMV area, to reach out to Tiffany and Brandi to see how they can help you do the things that they personally have done in their personal lifestyles, but then what they actually help their clients achieve. But one of the things that the ladies had mentioned was that they educate. Many of you have purchased your first home and you didn't get educated. So you don't know how to duplicate the process. You really don't even know the jargon and things like that. So when you work with women that sound so passionate like these two, they're going to guide you through the way and give you guys the insights, the secrets. What are those little acronyms? ARV and all of the stuff that I don't have no idea of, right? That's their
ROI.
Yes, all of that. ROI. Yeah, I know that one. Look, ROI and everything. But guys, this is the time now. We're in that day and age where, so number one, if you are in the DMV area and you're looking for a real estate home, instead of just going to one of the big firms, why don't you go check out Tiffany and Brandi, see what they got going on, see what their brokerage offer, what are the commission splits, what opportunities do they bring to the table. But if you're a home, if you're trying to buy and flip and do some stuff now, also contact the lady. So what we're going to do, we're going to give Brandi and Tiffany about 2 minutes. We're going to take a quick little break. I got to go talk to my kids. They're in the background. I can hear them. So we're going to take a quick little break, guys, and then we're going to go deeper into ways to use real estate to build generational wealth and what opportunities are out there for you. And we may talk about the DMV, the Baltimore area, a little bit more as well. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Your refund is not something extra, okay? That's another thing. Y'all sit here not even understanding that if you broke, you do need to find somebody to help you with your coins. I don't know why y'all think that accountants and financial advisors only work for the rich. Hell no. I had to financially advise myself to even get to where I am now. Shit, when I was getting refunds, I had to financially advise myself on how to use the refunds. Like, guys, my story, I used my actual tax refund to build my business. I really did. I had Brim. Brim was born 2012. Started the business 2011, August. I got my refund and I put it right back into the business. I didn't have employees then. I didn't have a big office. I didn't have all of the stuff that we got right now, right? I put it back into the business. So I had to financially advise myself too. So regardless of how much money you have or how much money you don't have, are you being smart with what you have? Are you going to do right with what you have? Make some investments, save some stuff, start your business, do some things. But the last thing I want you guys to do is just fuck it up. And that's been one of my drinks. That's my little Drake song. No, that's the last thing I want you guys to do, because we're still treading light waters right now, y'all. I don't know when we're going to get out of all of this mess. And I don't see anything happening overnight because there's too much policies happening. They haven't even really niched down and say who deserved what or who's supposed to get what. Biden is putting in so many executive orders and doing so much that they're blindly not even seeing that we're developing more and more problems as we're growing, as we're moving. So that's another story. We talk about taxes today. Do not file your taxes via TurboTax. I know you cheapskates and all of y'all like Folasade, here you go again with this nonsense. Y'all know every year I say it because I want you guys to do better. And let me give you a real live example of why TurboTax is never really that satisfying for all of you. Okay, number one, I had a client call. They've already paid their invoice and moved forward, but they called the office. Well, Brandi called them and scheduled a meeting with me, right? And so the first thing that the individual and his wife was saying was that they're not certain that they've been able to maximize Okay? Accountability matters. Accounting matters, okay? And being forthcoming matters. But most importantly, being you and staying true to yourself is what really matters. Hey guys, welcome back. So if you guys are just tuning into the Money Zone on RipRadioNetwork.com, we have Tiffany and Brandi Hawkins. Okay, they are the owner of Harrison Hawkins Co., which is a boutique real estate firm located in Baltimore, Maryland. So we were talking about ways that the ladies are actually building generational wealth in their homes, and they talked about a whole slew of things. They talked about multiplexes, rental property income, fix and flips, and then Brandi was like, her and her husband and beat the 2-year mark. That's why I winked at you and smiled, Brandi, when you told me you get out of there in 2 years. You stay there for 2 years. I was like, okay, I know what she up to. Look, saving a lot of money on taxes as well. So these ladies know how it feels, and they have the same desire, like many of you that watch this show, to really leave legacies for their family. So that goes right into my next question. Where did this drive or this desire come from to build a legacy? Like, was it just out the blue? Because now everybody on Instagram and Facebook now wants to build legacy and talk about generational wealth, or is this was something that the both of you desired from day one?
Yeah, it's definitely something that we've always that's always aligned for us. I've been telling the same thing, this story over and over. Just in speaking to my dad about a month or so ago, we were talking about how not every Black family, but in a lot of Black families, every generation has to start over. So in a lot of other cultures, there's this business left for you, that business left for you, this property left for you. But in our culture, that's not so much. A lot of times we leave our children with debt or nothing, or a mess to clean up, no life insurance. And I remember one of my dad's brothers had passed away, and my dad had ended up paying for the funeral, and he didn't have life insurance, and it was just this thing. And I was just kind of like, I never, ever want to put my kid in this situation where if something happens to me, or my husband, he's left with nothing. So it was just really important for me, for my son to not have to start over. And I know Tiffany feels the exact same way. So the drive is, yes, for our children. But the drive is to also break generational curses of poverty. It's to break the chain of poverty, but to just break that cycle of feeling like you can't, or not doing just because you don't know. So for me, it's that generational curse breaking and that chain breaking, for my son's future.
And I would say, definitely the same, creating something that we didn't have growing up, creating something different. Had I known what I know about real estate, at 18 or 19, what I know now, I'd be a millionaire. But creating, that it doesn't have to be when you're a certain age to start getting into real estate. It doesn't, you have people that you meet that have never owned property, or, and not saying that it's everybody's desire, but there's different ways, and there's ways to get into real estate, and it not be necessarily just for your primary residence. So just educating our kids very early, having those financial literacy, conversations, things that were not done for us growing up. I, want to be the parent that can gift my son, his down payment when he purchases his first home for him and his family. To, I've had my son on my, credit cards as an authorized user, ensuring that it's being reported to his credit since he was 14. So things like that, and having those conversations and doing the things that weren't done for us. I know when I first started college, and the first thing you do when you get on a college campus is the first thing they give you, credit card stands everywhere to tell you to sign up for credit cards. And you're thinking it's free money. So having the conversations that, credit is king, and just being in a right position to not have to figure things out later, or have to really, really mess up your credit before you fix it, or, you know, just not be aware of what is accessible to you, and that, you know, home ownership is a realization, and it is something that you can achieve. So I think having those different conversations and really providing something for our children that wasn't provided for us, being able to leave something, leave a business that is lucrative, leave, you know, just a name for our kids, something that even if they don't want to get into real estate, something that they could manage or have a different aspect of our business that's ours. And then just show them that even entrepreneurship, if that's something that you want to explore, is, you know, is an opportunity as well.
Yeah, and I think we want to bring a sense of normalcy to the idea that when your child turns 18, you don't have to get out of the house. You don't. I would prefer you stay here until you are 28 and mature enough to go out into the world. But also, I want my kid to have that 800 credit score when he turns 18. I want him to be able to be on my credit cards, because other cultures have really mastered this, and, you know, passing down generational wealth. I really admire Tiffany for, you know, putting her son Ray on credit cards. That I saw that all day long when I went to school. I went to a very diverse school, and it wasn't something that was being discussed in my household. We only talked about cash. We never talked about credit. And my parents will save. They will save to death, honey. They will save some money. That is for sure. But I didn't learn about credit until I messed mine up and had to fix it up. You know, fix it.
Yep, I've been there too, where you hear credit is bad. We were never really taught like the or how to really strategically use our credit to really leverage and get to the next point. But I'm going to connect the dots to something that you guys had said. And I don't know if you guys noticed what both Brandi and Tiffany alluded to, was that they had delayed gratification. So they were saying that they sacrificed while they were building their firm to get to where they are now. They didn't get their hair done. They didn't eat out. They didn't, do their nails. But how many of you right now is sitting right on the cusp of an amazing idea, a new business? You want to build generational wealth, but you're not willing to have that delayed gratification. You want to still get your nails done. And if you guys know my story, you've been following me for a while, guys, you know I had to sacrifice. I had to sacrifice everything. And so when you guys have that ultimate dream, don't look at it as a sacrifice. Just look at it as a delayed gratification now. And if you guys see them, for all of you that's on Instagram, you may not be able to see Brandi and Tiffany, but the girls are looking good there. Okay. You can't tell they sacrifice anything. You can tell they're no longer sacrificing. So basic, and the reason why I'm telling you guys that is because once you write down that plan and you say you want to leave a legacy and you say you want to build generational wealth, you first need to map out what exactly does this look like. Do you want to leave them a property? Do you want to leave them life insurance? Do you want to do a collective of things? And then now see where you are now, and does that align, and the actions that you're taking now, does that align to what your future goals are? Are you going to have to cut back on doing Starbucks and make your own coffee? Are you going to have to stop shopping and eating out and just doing extra things so you can build generational wealth? And in our community, the reason why I'm stressing this is that because we only take sacrifice in a negative aspect, never seeing the end goal of it. And the end goal is that your child will be able to be somewhat the rich kid when they go to school, no student loan debt like me, and just being free. And they can now use mommy and daddy's credit card because they've been on there. They know how to manage things. They're not going to go away to college and just blow their life up and blow their life away. So I just want you guys to be mindful that we have to be willing to sacrifice some things. But as both of them said, you have to have those hard conversations. We rarely have money conversations in the Black community. And I think that's what's really stunting our growth so much. The most is because we're afraid to tell people, oh, this is what I'm doing, because one, we're afraid of the judgment. 2, we're afraid that they're going to ask us for some coins. And 3, we're like, okay, you know what? Everybody don't need to know. It is private. But we need to start having those hard conversations about what we're doing behind the scenes to really catapult our finances and build and leave legacies for our families. So I just want to just say thank you so much for the transparency, ladies. We really appreciate it. Going into one of my favorite questions, how have accounting and accountability help your organization, your firm?
So,
oh boy.
So I think accountability is very, very important. Something that we definitely stress to our agents as well. So I think for both of us, we're highly accountable for what we've determined our responsibilities are. Because again, like Brandi said, our families depend on each other because of the success and the things that we have to contribute. If the ball drops there, it could affect the overall of Harris Hawkins & Co. So I think being accountable for not only yourself and your actions, but ensuring that what your responsibilities are, you're not dropping the ball. We've both had moments where we feel like we're not doing enough for those reasons. I think having those difficult conversations are also important. One thing in the beginning, the money conversation obviously was very important. And just how we were going to spend the money, how much were we going to leave behind to contribute to the business. So that accounting piece of it takes money to run this machine. So we're probably at this point not even paying ourselves what we should, because there are things that we're goals that we're trying to reach as it relates to the business.
But there have been times that I would say during the pandemic, like at the height of the pandemic, like when it first hit, and everybody was just so unsure. We have gone months without paying ourselves. So that's a decision that, our families have to be in agreement with. While we had savings, it was a very uncertain time. So we don't want to, eat through our savings. So we literally activated our faith to make this work. And not only has it, we kind of stand on this thing, like when God says go, like you got to go. So have we waited, have we delayed, have we moved too soon? We only move during the time that we're supposed to move. We don't let anybody else influence our time frame. When we're ready, we're ready. And people were saying, when are you going to open a brokerage? I want to join. But it wasn't the time, even down to when we bring agents on, we do it in our time so that we can give them what it is that they need. But we have had very hard conversations. I think we both know, I know that we both know, there's such a great respect, between the two of us, and such a love and a great dynamic that there's boundaries that we're not going to cross. She does very much get on my nerves. So I may, be irritated. She may be irritated. I know I'm extremely annoying, so I get on her nerves more than she gets on mine. But at the end of the hard conversation, it's like, you want to go get some crabs? Because it's just not that serious. We know that we respect each other. We know we have our goals aligned. We know that our vision aligns, and we know that we're going wherever we're going together as a team. So accountability is not always easy, but I know this woman and she knows me, and there's too much love there to ever tote the line of being disrespectful.
Love it. Look, guys, so I'm just in awe because I can feel the strength in you guys' partnership. I can feel it. Just even being just here in my little home office, I can feel the strength of y'all partnership. Y'all finishing up each other's sentences. Y'all like, go girl, camaraderie, everything. So are you guys presently looking for agents right now?
So we actually just brought on, this will be six agents last week. So we had a recruiting event last week. We are very much quality over quantity. So a lot of brokerages just bring on bodies and say we have 300 agents. I don't want that. I don't want that. She doesn't want it. We don't want it. We want agents that are hungry to better their careers or who want to learn. And the difference between us and a lot of brokerages is that a lot of people are not excited about agents who have zero experience. It's very easy to forget that you had zero experience at once. And it's also very easy to forget that you had no support at once. This is very much an island. It's very much an island, and you could be over there drowning, and other real estate agents are over here on a yacht, and you just over there drowning. It's very much a place where we're okay with the underdog, because we were once that. So we're okay with the underdog. We're okay with training as long as you put in the work. So if the right agent comes along, we're not going to say no, but we're not, just like, come on, bodies. It has to be the right person.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so we're almost done for the night. I've enjoyed the conversation. So I just want to ask you guys, first of all, go and follow Tiffany and Brandi at Hers and Hawkins Co. on all social media platforms. Let me make sure I have it right. Hers and Hawkins Co.
Harris Hawkins.
On all social. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I got it right. Okay, so on Instagram, Harris Hawkins and Co. On Facebook, Harris Hawkins and Co. And then the website as well as Harris Hawkins and Co. Okay, so go and follow the ladies on all social media platforms. If you are interested in buying a home in the Maryland area, you definitely want to contact them as well. But before we go, please, is there anything in particular that you two would like to leave the audience with? We have like a few minutes left. The floor is yours. Anything in particular that you think we should know about real estate, buying a home, getting into the business? The floor is yours, ladies. What's on your spirit to tell us tonight?
Always lead with integrity, no matter what. We stand by, live by, breathe by. We ooze integrity first. Education. I think it's very easy to kind of get wrapped up in HGTV and like TV. These real estate shows that make you feel like every deal is going to be $1 million deal, and it's going to be so glamorous. We honestly, we have dog days. We had a whole entire dog week we just had to drag ourselves out of. So I'm not saying that you can't do it, but make sure you are prepared to lead your clients, and you have a duty to your clients. So make sure you have the education and the knowledge to do that. I can't tell you how many times I see, a new agent post, now accepting new clients. And we always say, if you get 5 clients today, they call you today, can you handle it? I know I can, I know she can, but can you handle 5 new clients? So education, lead with integrity, and build relationships. Relationships will eventually equate to revenue.
Love it.
And I would say, as it relates to entrepreneurship or that business idea that you've been sitting on, just do it. Do it scared, do it unsure, do it broke, but do it. If nobody's going to believe in you, you have to believe in you.
I love it. Okay, ladies, look, y'all done got a lot from Brandi and Tiffany. I'm going to ask them one more question because we have a few more minutes. And then we're going to go from there. So if you guys were able to rewind and start your life back over, we're 18. And how would you start off things? Knowing the knowledge you now know about credit, real estate, multiplexes, duplex, this, that. What would be your first step? 18. What would you do? Would you go to college? Would you start your brokerage? Would you try to find an investor for real estate? What would be the first thing you do? 18, good credit. 18 with good credit.
I would not have went to college for
Definitely
nursing.
not going to college. No, thank you.
I was in nursing school, and I don't even like the sight of blood. So I don't even know why I spent 2 years in nursing school. But I would not have went to college. I would have purchased a multifamily and rented out I would have gotten a 4-unit property, rented out the other 3 to my friends. 4. Rented out, lived in one, and rented out the other 3 to my friends.
Yeah, and I would have stayed at home longer. I moved out when I was 18 because I was grown, okay? Very grown. So I would have stayed at home longer. I would have purchased property. I would have stayed at home with my parents for as long as I could have, purchased properties to rent out. I would not have gone to college. I did attempt to go to college for a good 3 weeks. My parents probably think it's like 3 semesters, but it was actually 3 weeks. So I would have just been really true to who I am and who I was called to be, not what I felt like was necessary for society. So good credit would have bought me a house. I would be a millionaire on a yacht, little yachty right now.
Wow. Look, y'all, and you know what? Tiffany said the same thing. She would be a millionaire by now too. And so now, look at this, guys. Culturally, we are behind. When we all of us, that's the same perception. I feel like if I would have knew differently at 18, I would have been much more further than where I am as well. So just think about it, guys. When we come on these platforms and we come to educate you guys, is to reduce your learning curve. Okay, so you don't have to make the same mistakes that we've made, or you can prevent those mistakes from occurring. So I hope that you've taken some advice from Brittany and Tiffany and wrote down those investments that they've made, the tips that they gave you guys on systems, teams. I don't know if I got to kind of spill it to you guys, but they gave you quite a bit today, so you can go back and really evaluate your business, your life, and your lifestyle to make sure that it's aligned with the legacy that you guys are trying to leave with. And before we go, lady, I just want to say, it was both of you said a multiplex, and so I just wanted to confirm the multiplex things, because one of my clients, he's white. And about 4 years ago, this is before the real estate rampant about the multiplex and everything was going on. About 4 years ago, my client was like, oh yeah, my son's going to college and I'm going to go ahead on and buy a apartment building. That's what he called it. He didn't say multiplex, an apartment building. So he can now rent out the other units to the school, and the school will purchase them, will fill them in with other students and make that like $5,000 per unit. Then the same client said, oh my gosh, we've already filled that one up. I'm going to now go and buy a townhouse, because that's all they had in the area, and going to rent those out to the fraternities and stuff. And so we're learning this stuff decades and decades and decades and decades behind, but guys, we still have time. This is why, okay, you guys want to go ahead on and call Tiffany and Brandi so they can help you on that journey, okay? Because if I were you, I would go with someone that is actually doing it, okay? Not someone that's just posting on IG saying, oh, you can buy multiplex, but never did. Or, oh, you can, you can have rental properties, but never did. So they don't know the tax ramifications. They don't know the processes. They may only know it from the realtor's aspect, but not from your perspective, which is the buyer. So if you're in the Maryland area, you're thinking about buying a home, or, they real estate firm exclusive, y'all. You got to pass the test now. But if you want to be a realtor, still contact them. They'll take you through their little test, see if you pass. Quality over quantity. And just reach out to the ladies. I think they're going to be making a major impact in this area, and you guys don't want to miss out on your opportunity to build relationships and connect with some amazing women. So Tiffany and Brandi, I want to say thank you so much for coming on The Money Zone. It was exciting to hear Black women doing their thing, and it is very rare to hear successful Black women that have their own brokerage firm, guys. So this is not the norm, okay? This is the exception. This is not the norm. So take this time, get to know the ladies, follow them on Instagram. So it's Harris and Hawkins. Let me make sure, Harris, Hawkins, and Co. on all social media platforms. And that's basically it, guys. We are done for the night. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. I enjoyed myself.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We had a great time. Thank you so much.
Good night. Bye, guys. Good night.